3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up. I appreciate it. What I'm going to speak on is the thing that's on my mind the most. You know what I'm saying? The thing that we all got to deal with every day, but don't really know. The industry. The industry. Man, it's not the same. Doesn't have to do with talent. It's about playing the game. The industry. Real niggas is dying to get in. The industry. Just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that. But I'm going dress like this and talk with the bat. The industry. Got your word? Meaning nothing. The industry. Fuck what you heard, because he's bluffing. The industry. Money, bitches, hate. But I dare you to try to take a fucking thing off my plate. The industry like, wait! But in the streets, we like, get 'em. 17 up in that thing. Catch him sleeping and hit him. The industry, if you ain't got a strong mind, the industry will break you down. It's a matter of time. The industry, vultures with nothing to feast on. See me? I'm getting my beast on. The industry, stay in the dirt, play in the dirt. Test the wrong one in the industry and you will get hurt. I'm not an industry artist. I'm an artist in the industry. So I do what the fuck I want, because nobody can finish me. The industry, wanted, dead or alive, new artists to sell their souls in the way they survive. The industry don't give a fuck about you, but the industry couldn't make a dime without you. The industry, I'm sick of this industry shit. The industry playing them like a industry bitch. They tried to finish me quick, but I am long, so I stand strong. Fuck a beat. Listen to the words in the damn song. I only know how to speak the truth, you know what I'm saying? So I got a little short joint I'm gonna hit you with, you know what I'm saying? And it basically reflects on my relationship with the industry. This is what it is. Often, my words fall on deaf ears. Motherfuckers be listening, but don't hear. Talking to a nigga, he be sitting right here. I be like, where you going? Nigga be like, yeah. Thank you.
All right, this is KandiShow, episode 10. We thought it was just right to start with a little DMX piece. Best of wishes to DMX.
Prayers out to him and his family, his huge fan base.
If anyone can make it through something like this, he can.
Yeah.
But we figured it was only right to start off with a little DMX. There was, first off, KandiShow episode 10. It's, I've lost track of the time. What is the date? March?
It is April 5th. It is 12:41 p.m.
There we go. I just had I had 5 fillings in my teeth, so my mouth's a little numb. Might affect my brain, but anyway, yeah, we thought it was only right to do some DMX stuff. There's probably, I can count on, in the last 10 to 15 years, I can count on 2 hands of a couple of different rappers I took deep dives in, whether they were before my time, like a Biggie or Pac, or maybe were even like a Jay-Z. Like, I was young when he got popular, and then he stayed pop, but I had to look into him. Jay-Z, Nas. But I count on 2 hands. DMX, there was a time when I did a deep dive on DMX. Alec probably knows. I probably bringing in a bunch of DMX stuff. Yeah. I went out and bought one of the hard disc albums, and this was when there was stuff like Spotify and stuff. I bought I don't even know what that album was, but I bought a hard disc album. And but anyway, made a deep dive, and that was always one of my favorite DMX videos. It's from Def Poetry, basically like a spoken word. I don't know if they called them spoken words back then, but yeah, anyway, so shout out to DMX, if anyone can make it.
Yeah, prayers out to DMX. We got a lot of love for him. Hopefully he makes a quick recovery. The last update I saw is that he's breathing and he's doing well. I don't know. I keep
You did read that?
I did today.
Okay.
I saw one post that said he's in a vegetated state.
Right. That's what I've heard.
And then another I saw he's making good recovery.
That's what I heard.
So
Yeah, they said on Saturday night he was on life support, but then someone said they took him off life support in a positive way, like that he was doing okay, that he didn't need to be on life support anyway. But we haven't heard anything. At least we haven't got a dead thing yet. So I would feel like if he was going to die, he probably would have already died. So
the only scare is that he's in, he lost brain.
Right.
But hopefully that's not the case. And
what's crazy is, and we just brought this
first
up.
off, like if people that are unaware, DMX had a drug overdose that triggered a heart attack, and now he's in a coma-like state is what I read. So.
And DMX has always battled with drugs. That was always been one of his big things over the last 20 years. The crazy thing was, and I'm pretty sure we brought this up on the podcast like a month ago, 6 weeks ago, when he was on the Drink Champs. Remember, we saw him in the Drink Champs, and he's always a little thicker.
He was also on the Versus, I forget who, against Snoop Dogg.
That's right,
too. Yeah.
And you can always see his face is a little thicker, obviously, because he's healthier and not all sucked up. And looked really healthy. And the Drink Champs is the podcast where you get on there and drink, with Nori and them. Wasn't drinking nothing, chilling, but, a month later, 6 weeks later, obviously got back on it,
Yeah.
Fame and money is not always the easiest thing, and I think a lot of these people we've seen the story where the drugs take over them.
Right.
I just think it's a lack of warmth in their life. Rich money and fame doesn't give you real warmth. And you probably don't have that many people who are close to you who don't want to be around you.
Right.
Besides just because you're famous, or besides you just want a lot of money, because you have a lot of money, so people want to be around you. So there's not much warmth. I know he has like 10 different kids and a bunch of baby mamas, which adds up to the coldness. So
yeah.
But anyway, we love DMX. I love DMX.
Yeah, he's one of the last living legends too.
Yeah.
We've already lost too many legends the past couple of years too. So.
Yeah, that one would
especially
hurt.
one that's preaching truth and pushing positivity. He prays for everybody. If anyone's going through a rough time, he's the first to say something. He did a thing for Chance the Rapper. He's a legend that's actually pushing positivity. And,
He used to make. I remember watching the interviews when I had this deep dive of DMX. He would make grown men cry. Like he would really motivate men.
Right.
There was this video of Woodstock. It made Coachella look small. Yeah. At that point, you can see seas of fans all the way. Right. That's one of the most epic videos ever. Where he's in the red pants or orange pants with no shirt. Fans everywhere. Right. But I used to hear he's really close with Swizz Beatz, the co-owner of Versus, Alicia Keys' husband, and he said DMX used to make grown men cry. Yeah. That was the kind of motivation. There's levels to this. DMX was out there.
Yeah. I almost played the prayer interlude from one of the Red album. What's that one called?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I used to play that.
I bought that hard copy.
When I was going through a rough time my sophomore year of high school, I used to play that every day, So he brought a lot of motivation to my life, And there's not too many people that I can look for to do that, especially that I don't know personally, And DMX was always one of those guys for me, so.
There was that epic little time when him and Machine Gun Kelly got together and did those videos. That was dope. I used to like that song, too.
Yeah. So prayers out to DMX and his family, the fan base, and praying for a quick recovery, and hope to see him back in action here soon. Yeah. So
best of luck, DMX. All right. We just want to start off with that. We felt it was only right. I left this video right here. Let's do because this week, well, first and foremost, let's do couple things are this week, unfortunately. Let's do Final Four real quick, because only reason I want to do this. Hey, guess what? Gonzaga won the championship. I collected $1,900. Well, the reason I did that is because by the time this plays tomorrow, the game already happened. Right. So tonight, Gonzaga, Baylor. When you hear this, it'll be over. But Gonzaga's -4.5 over Baylor. We showed you guys all those future picks a couple weeks ago, but and I mentioned this briefly, but I'm just going to run it by again. I placed 200 on Gonzaga at 5.5 to 1 November 28th. Being the better that I am, I wanted to throw money on some other team just to play it safe. Even though I remember back in November placing that bet, thinking Gonzaga's so good, I won't need to place a bet on any other team. Of course, March Madness gets around, and we throw $300 more on 8 different teams. So I put up 200. Luckily, this was the biggest one. I put up 200 on this. I split up 300 between 8 teams. So I'm going to collect 1,300. Really, after profit, I'm going to collect 1,000. The other thing, though, which is dope, is We did 2 big bracket pools this year. Alex's friend, it was less people. It was only like 13 people, but it was $50 a pop. And if Gonzaga wins tonight, I'll win that. So tell your boys to pay that $600. I need that. So honestly, hopefully when you hear this, I'm $1,900 richer.
Yeah.
Go Gonzaga. Baylor does have some dogs. This was the matchup in both my brackets. I did pick Gonzaga Baylor. We laughed at the beginning, said I went all chalk, but it ended up being that way for all the upsets there were. But that's why I don't really have go much into college basketball, because by the time this comes out, we're going to know who wins. But anyway, Gonzaga national champs, 32-0, one of the best seasons. I'm 1,900 richer.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do WrestleMania 37, because that's this weekend. So
cool. Let me pull that
one.
up.
So first and foremost, WrestleMania 37 this week. I followed wrestling my whole life. Me and Alec, we went to multiple events. Our dad sponsored an event back in the day. I've been connected. I've always loved WWE. Couple things before we get into it. So this weekend is WrestleMania 37. They are having fans. It is a 2-night event in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is where they had the Super Bowl as well. Florida's been more open. That's where UFC 261's coming up. What's the one with the pitches? Go to WWE.com. And so they're doing a 2-night event in Tampa Bay, which I don't really like the 2-night event thing.
Where do I go for this? You know?
Yeah, it should be. Go to shows at the top. Click on that one.
Here we go. WrestleMania.
And then they go up. Go to. Click on that one right there.
This?
Mm-hmm. And then scroll. Go scroll all the way down. All the way down. We'll do pictures. Let's go all the way down. We'll do up. We'll go from bottom to up. Okay, so anyway, 2-night event, WrestleMania 37 in Tampa Bay. The crazy thing is, it's on it says and WWE Network elsewhere. So that's across the country. Their big thing the last 5 years, and I don't know the exact time. Just keep it on that one. We'll do that fight first. Was their whole thing was they used to be the pay-per-view model, then they had their own network, WWE Network. It was only like $4.99 a month or $9.99 a month, whatever it was, but you had to get the subscription and then watch the pay-per-views. Now WWE just signed a deal with Peacock, I think like $2 billion. Wow. I wish I knew the exact numbers, but it was I'm pretty sure it was in the billions, so it was at least $1 billion, maybe multiple. Let's just call it was a $1 billion deal with Peacock. Peacock, I believe, is the NBC streaming service, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, this is the first event, I believe, that's on Peacock. Maybe the last one was, but so anyway, Peacock's going to be getting a lot of subscriptions this week because there's a big wrestling following. So WrestleMania 37 is on Peacock Saturday and Sunday. So we're just going to go through.
I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys now, but I'm gonna just be picking based on kind of looks.
So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It says night 2. This is just into his conspiracy endeavor. So this is kind of Kevin Owens has been around for a while. You remember Kevin Owens, right?
I know
Sami
Kevin
Zayn's
Owens.
been a while for a while.
I don't know. Sami Zayn.
So you pick your winner first, and then I'll pick.
I have Kevin Owens.
All right, I'm going Kevin Owens as well.
Okay. Next one. We Big
have
E versus
the
Apollo
Intercontinental Champion, Big E, who recently they broke up the New Day. So now Big E.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Well, Big E just on a solo endeavor. Yeah. They were. It was Kofi Kingston, Big E, and the other guy. Woods,
that was Hendrix's favorite
Xavier
crew,
Woods,
right?
yeah. But Xavier Woods was out for like a year, maybe more, for an injury. So once he came back, Kofi and Xavier Woods are still doing the New Day thing, and they tried Big E for his own solo career. So that being the case, he's now the Intercontinental Champion, taking on Apollo Crews. This is also night 2, April 11th. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Big E. I don't know Apollo Crews.
Yeah, I'm going Big E as well.
Okay.
You know both these guys.
I don't know Cesaro, but I do know
he's
Seth
been around
Rollins.
for a while. I guess you haven't really watched much of the 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So Cesaro is taking on Seth Rollins. Cesaro's been one of the guys who's just been kind of on and off, lower level, higher level. They're trying to. I saw them lately. They're trying to give him a push again. Seth Rollins has been on top. Yeah. They'll say a personal rivalry come head to head on the grandest stage of them all when Cesaro finally goes 1-on-1 with Seth Rollins. All right, who you got?
I got Seth Rollins.
You got Seth Rollins. I'm gonna go with Cesaro.
Okay.
Just to make it a different one.
Yeah. Riddle versus Sheamus.
So next one, we got the we have the ex-UFC fighter, Matthew Riddle, who they just should change his name to just Riddle now.
Is that how I know him?
Yeah, it's Matt Riddle. And then that's Sheamus, the guy with the red. You know Sheamus. Sheamus been around for a while, the redhead, but he has like a new look now with the hat.
Yeah.
The Celtic
Sheamus.
Warrior.
Yeah.
But now, United States champion Riddle, they just changed his name. Because I was watching like 2 months ago and they were still doing Matt Riddle, but they just changed the Riddle. His thing is like the bro. I'm bro.
He's a bro.
That's his thing.
Oh,
yeah.
original bro. It's
Original
on his hat.
bro, yeah. Versus Sheamus. Riddle will look to crush Sheamus' attempt at the third United States title reign. Who you got, Riddle or Sheamus?
I'm going to go with Riddle. Maybe they're trying to build him off of Sheamus or something.
I'm going to go with Matt Riddle, too. He's the good guy. I see them having Matt Riddle win that one.
Shane McMahon.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Strowman?
Braun Strowman, the beast. I don't know what they call him. The beast of all beasts or something. But whatever. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match.
Damn.
Shane McMahon always comes around for, I think, Survivor Series and WrestleMania. But I don't even know if he does Survivor Series anymore.
How old is he?
He's a lot of steroids. You know him and his dad got that good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're on everything.
He moving around good.
Yeah, they're on everything.
So anyway, Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon, steel cage match. Who you got?
I'm going to go Braun Strowman.
All right. I'm going to go with Shane McMahon by some kind of weird interference or something, even though it's in a cage match. That was the big thing. Shane kept having people come in and help, but that's why Braun got to pick it. He's like, I'm doing it in a steel cage match, so there's nowhere to run. Anyway, I got Shane McMahon.
Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny takes on The Miz.
What
the Miz has his own e-show like the Kardashians, The Miz and Mrs.
Damn.
And it's been popping. And Miz has been one of the guys on there forever. I mean, he was back on
he was
Fear
on a bunch
Factor
of reality shows.
with Joe Rogan.
Oh, really?
Joe Rogan used to always say that The Miz was one of the athletic guys he ever saw compete on there.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, so and we got Bad Bunny, the international pop star. Who you got?
I'm going to go with The Miz. Bad Bunny's
I'm not
even going to go into that.
He's too much of a good guy that they're going to have him win. So I'm going to go with Bad Bunny in that one.
Okay. Asuka versus Ray. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know Asuka.
Yeah,
okay.
Raw Women's Champion Asuka, I think it's
Asaka?
pronounced. Takes on Rhea Ripley, who they just brought up from NXT. I went to an NXT event. I brought Hendrickson Charnay that was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, before pandemic, and saw some of these girls. It's Asuka. That's how they say it. Asuka. Raw's Women Champion Asuka is taking on Rhea Ripley. Who you got?
Asuka. I'm gonna go with Asuka. Okay. Remember back in the day, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to offend these girls, but back in the day, they would always have the girls, like the hottest girls. It would basically be supermodels that were fighting. Okay.
This one's more. The girls up top are a little bit cuter than the other girl championship fight, and they still have some of those girls.
Yeah.
None of them are just that good. They have you're talking like the blonde hair girls and stuff.
Yeah,
none
it would
of them
always
are that
be
good
like
at
that.
the ring. That's the thing. They're not that entertaining anymore. And for them to sell, they need some of these entertaining girls. But I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley. I think they're trying to make her a star, and I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley.
Damn. The Fiend versus Randy Orton.
Real quick intermission. So since I just got my lip numb when I drink this.
Aren't you supposed to avoid sugar and shit?
It's like a hot hole here, like a big old hot hole.
Aren't you supposed to avoid sugar and like not eat or drink?
The only thing she told me not to drink eat popcorn, and shredded meat. And she's like, or anything else like that. I'm like, popcorn or shredded meat? I don't know what else is like that. But anyway,
anything that could get lodged in there or something. Maybe.
We need this Mountain Dew sponsor. So I'm gonna drink on every episode until it happens.
Yeah, but if we're doing it for free, they don't need to pay us.
No, they're going to pay us at some point. All right, so the next one, we got The Fiend, who is also Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt plays two characters, but he's The Fiend just straight up in this, versus Randy Orton, which is one of the most exciting fights right here. The ongoing mind games between Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is like this cute little blonde hair girl who does like the Satan worshiper things with The Fiend, like goes upside down and does acts like she's possessed in the middle of the ring. It's like
weird.
This is where the devil worshiper stuff comes in with The Fiend. Who you got, The Fiend or
like typically when you're watching it actively, you kind of know where the motions are going with the fights and stuff. I haven't watched, but Randy Orton's old.
WrestleMania is more 50-50 because they want it to be as like on your edge, but. Randy Orton's been carrying the company the last year. Yeah. Like he's been fighting all the big guys, especially when Roman Reigns was out and stuff. He was fighting everyone, Edge and putting over Drew McIntyre.
Who's the good guy in this? Randy Orton? Or is there no good guy to these two?
No, I think The Fiend's a fan favorite.
Yeah? Okay, I'm going to go with The Fiend then.
Yeah. I'm going to go with The Fiend as well. But I like that fight. That's one of the best ones.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
All right, next one.
Tag
Speaking
team,
of
New Day versus AJ Styles.
go to the picture. So we were just talking about this, the New Day. Scroll down a little bit so I can see the name. So Raw Tag Team Champion, the New Day, which is now Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, are fighting. So AJ Styles had this big guy right here, Amos, I don't know how they say his name, walking around with him. He's super tall. He's like, I don't know. He's tall. He's like 6'10" or something. And he was just walking around in this corner for like a couple months. Yeah. And now they're having a fight. So New Day versus AJ Styles and Amos. Who you got?
I'm going to go with New Day just because it's my nephew's favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to go with – that made me sway. I'm going to go with the New Day just because they said that. But I think they might have AJ Styles and Amos win. But I'm going to go with the New Day as well.
Okay, SmackDown Women's Champion.
This one's better, yeah. This is Sasha Banks takes on Bianca Belair. Now, Bianca Belair was also a girl from NXT who came up. She's actually married to the guy on the Street Profits who made a big push this year. I wonder if they're on this card, the Street Profits. I haven't seen them lately, but maybe they're up higher. But Sasha Banks been carrying the women's division for a while now. Her and Bayley made a big push for a while.
Yeah, okay. I know Sasha Banks.
Yeah, she was partners with Bayley for a while, and then she ended up beating then they ended up having a few, beat Bayley. She's been the champion now. Who you got, Banks or Bianca Belair?
I'm going to go with Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, I think they're going to keep Sasha Banks the champ for now. But Bianca Belair run the Royal Rumble for the girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby Lashley's back?
Bobby Lashley, he's the champ. Not only is he back, he's the champ.
Damn.
He beat Drew McIntyre.
I've been out for a minute.
So, Bobby Lashley is defending the
Wait, speaking of which, when Bobby Lashley and John Cena fought, when I was a kid, I think you watched that with me. I've never been so excited for an event in my life than that when I was a kid. That was huge for me.
Yeah, they gave him the belt. He was kind of floating around with the Hurt Business and stuff, and finally, I think they had there's the Drew McIntyre.
Didn't he try to fight in the UFC?
Yeah.
Am I mistaken?
Yeah, no, he did. Not in the UFC. He fought MMA, though.
Oh, okay.
Like Strikeforce or something.
Yeah.
He won, too, but I think when that USADA came out, he couldn't stay around much longer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Bobby Lashley defends his title versus Drew McIntyre, who's been the champ for the past year. They just took the belt off of him. Who you got?
Bobby Lashley.
I got Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
All right. And then this is the main event of all main events. So the Universal Champion, we have a triple threat match. Roman Reigns, the head of the table. He is defending his title versus Daniel Bryan. Yes.
Okay, that guy. Okay.
Versus the legend, Edge. Who you got?
Damn. Again, I just don't know like what way the energy's moving, you know.
So
I don't
Reigns
know
is
like
a bad guy,
Edge...
but Roman Reigns has Paul Heyman walking with him now. The guy used to walk around with Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
so
damn.
he's playing that's what they always want because he was always a good guy.
Yeah,
he finally turned and now he's a bad guy, but he's dominant. And he's huge. He's big.
Yeah. Edge is old.
Edge is obviously the good guy, and Bryan's kind of right in the middle.
Was Bryan a champ for a minute or no?
For a while ago, but not in a while. He's kind of
all
fell
right.
off.
I'm gonna just keep it. Roman Reigns is probably just gonna hold it.
I mean, Edge. Daniel Bryan's definitely not winning. If anyone gives it a shot, to Edge. But Edge. Roman Reigns is gonna keep the belt.
How old is Edge? Edge
46.
is looking a little older now.
He's 46.
Damn. Shout out to Edge.
Yeah, shout out to Edge.
I used to hate him when I was a kid.
He won the last Royal
Edge
Rumble.
did?
That's how he got this title fight. Yeah.
Oh damn! So maybe he does.
Edge,
all right, you know I'm gonna go
Edge
with Edge.
has a push. This is a big
You're
fight.
going Roman Reigns.
I'm going Roman Reigns.
Then I'm gonna go Edge.
Okay.
I'll go Edge.
No, this is a big fight. That's why it's the main event, and this is fun. Edge, Roman Reigns, and they both do the spear.
That seems like a fun one.
Yeah.
April 11th.
And Daniel Bryan just a fun throw-in. So I like it as a triple threat a little bit better than they were just gonna do a solo Reigns and Edge.
I'm gonna be out of town, but maybe I'll get to watch it with Nika or something.
Yeah. You can pull it up on your phone on Peacock.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, so that's our WrestleMania 37 breakdown. This Saturday and Sunday, April 10th, April 11th. I'm sure I'll be watching and I'll be tuned in. So that's that.
Cool. You want to get into the ABC event?
Yeah, it's the UFC.
Okay, cool.
So we're at April 5th. So again, this Saturday is UFC on ABC.
It's the second event on ABC, right?
Yep. The first one was that incredible Holloway fight, Holloway versus Qatar, when Holloway put on that performance.
Yeah.
Second UFC on ABC, and it was supposed to be Marvin Vettori versus Darren Till, and then like a week ago, Darren Till broke his collarbone and had to pull out. Now, stepping in is the trailblazer himself, Kevin Holland, who just fought Derek Brunson 3 weeks ago, and when Kevin Holland was like minus 170 in that fight, Brunson was plus 150, and Brunson kept taking him down anyway. So literally, 3 weeks out from that last fight, he's stepping up to fight Marvin Vettori. What should we do? Go through the 4 main fights? How do you want to do it? go up?
Let's start from the bottom.
Okay. So the first one I have is we're just gonna do 4 fights, 4 best ones that stood out name wise. Jim Miller, who's a legend in the sport, we always like, is plus 185 versus Joe Selecki minus 225. Jim Miller is getting up there in age. Joe Selecki's minus 225.
I didn't even put that one on my notes, to be honest.
I'm gonna go with Jim Miller by decision.
Okay, I'll follow along with you. I didn't do my research on that one.
All right, and he's my plus 185, but
yeah.
All right, the next fight, which I really like, is Mackenzie Dern, multiple jiu-jitsu world champion.
Right.
Coming off a great win in her last fight where she had to use her stand-up against the other jiu-jitsu girl, facing Nina Antarov, also known as Amanda Nunes' wife.
Do you want me to start? Yeah. Well, Mackenzie was 3-0 in 2020.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, with 2 submissions and 1 decision win.
Yep.
So she's 10-1. You said the odds are even for this fight?
Minus 110.
Yeah, see, I have Mackenzie Dern by first round submission.
Oh, I can't believe it's minus 110. Like, I'm throwing this in a bet for sure this weekend.
Right.
No matter what.
I'm kind of surprised that it's so close.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Did Nina?
What do they expect?
You should pull up Nina's last couple fights. I don't know if she won the last couple ones, but.
No, she hasn't. She's coming off a loss, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know what the odd makers are thinking.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm going the same. I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern second round submission.
Okay. Yeah, I think, I might be mistaken with this one, but I think her 2 submission wins in 2020 were both in the first round.
Were they?
There's a knee bar and an arm bar.
That sounds right. She definitely had I remember the fight where she had some crazy knee bar.
I forget what
Mackenzie
percentage.
Dern is high-level IBJJF jiu-jitsu. And I want to get into the EUG from the Saturday, too, real quick after. But we'll do this real
I don't know what percentage of her victories have been submission, but it's pretty high for Mackenzie.
I mean, she has 11 fights, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Dern, you're going Dern first round submission. I'm going Dern second round submission. That's a fight I might look at props, like specific props for that one. I like that one a lot.
Just straight. The odds seem like,
minus 110.
I think they fucked up on that.
All right, the next one is Mike Perry, plus 155, who I did just see is training with Colby Covington. He went down to Colby Covington's gym, which is probably good training for him. Yeah. He's fighting Daniel Rodriguez, minus 175. I'm pretty sure Daniel Rodriguez trains out in Vegas. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, he's the 10th Planet guy.
10th Planet, is he? Yeah, so he's fighting Mike Perry. Again, Mike Perry's been down with Colby Covington. That's great training for Mike Perry. He needs someone like that, a real grinder.
And Mike Perry's Vinny's favorite fighter, too, by the way, if you weren't familiar. Platinum Mike Perry.
That's not true at all.
That's not your favorite fighter?
No, that's not true.
And Vinny gets so hyped every time Mike Perry's on a fight card.
Mike Perry is an exciting fighter, but that's not true.
You love him.
But Mike Perry did just have a kid, though. I do feel he is the type of guy that might train a little bit harder once he has a kid, but I could be completely wrong. He also punched an old guy in the middle of a bar, too, so who knows. But
real quick on a side note, didn't John have a kid right before that fight with Adesanya? I think he had a newborn.
Jan Blachowicz?
Yeah, see, that's kind of swaying me because I never like betting against guys that just have kids.
Yeah.
Same thing with Cowboy Cerrone when he had Danger. He came in and beat the shit out of.
He's like minus 650 in his next fight against Diego Sanchez. They're doing Cowboy versus Diego Sanchez.
Wow.
Coming up, we'll get to that. We'll talk about when it comes. But I've never seen Cowboy minus 650 in forever.
Wow.
But yeah, he did. Donald did beat Mike Perry too back in the day. Mm-hmm. Not even back in the day, a couple years ago. So Mike Perry, Daniel Rodriguez. Who you got? I
train with 10th Planet. I'm always going 10th Planet. So I got Daniel Rodriguez by submission in the second round.
Okay. I'm going
by submission in the third round.
Submission in the third round?
Yeah.
I'm going with Mike Perry.
Your favorite fighter?
First round TKO. Boom.
Okay, cool. Now the main event.
All right, main event. We have Marvin. I don't even know if his nickname is the Italian Stallion Vettori. I know he's from Italy though. Marvin Vettori minus 325 versus Kevin Holland plus 250. 5-round fight. Marvin Vettori trains at King's MMA with Kelvin Gastelum and those guys. Rafael Cordero is his head coach. Kevin Holland plus 250. It's an interesting fight. I mean, Kevin Holland was the favorite. He was 5-0 last year. Had a lot of hype, and then Derek Brunson beat him. Yeah. This is an interesting fight. Vettori's been on a roll at minus 325. I'm going to go with Kevin Holland by decision.
Wow. Boom. Damn, that's how you feel?
I feel.
Well, This one's kind of hard for me. I mean, Vettori's last loss was against Adesanya by split decision.
We watched it at Spiro's house.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but that was just, I mean, at Nana's apartment.
And the thing is, Kevin Holland he's only had one 5-round fight, and that was against Derek Brunson, which he lost by unanimous decision.
The thing is, Vettori won't take him down, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, he kept getting taken down, so this will be a stand-up fight. But Vettori's crisp on his feet.
The thing, I watched Chael Sonnen's breakdown on it, and he was kind of saying that Kevin Holland was more comfortable in his ground game to the point where he's kind of letting Derek Brunson take him down because he thought he could make something happen with that. Yeah. So that's the thing. He doesn't have too many fights. He's only had one other fight that was a 5-round fight, and I don't know. I don't see it happening. I have Vettori by decision.
Okay. I might do a Dern Holland.
And did you say the odds for that? It's minus 325 Vettori.
Vettori, Holland plus 250.
Kevin Holland. It's short notice, you know.
Exactly.
Vettori's been training for going 5
Vettori was right
rounds.
on the cusp. The winner of this Till Vettori was probably going to get a title shot. Adesanya kept saying he wants Till. That's who he wanted. Mm-hmm. He was pushing that, but because he already fought Vettori.
Right.
But now
the thing is, Kevin Holland's last fight I think was like 20 days ago or something. It was fairly recently. Yeah. So I mean, he is trained, but it's a different, you know. He's been training for a 5-round fight. He hasn't had to go 5 rounds in the octagon other than the Derek Brunson
20
fight.
Days ago, but if any guy can turn around and make something happen, it's Kevin Holland. And I just see this fight being closer than those odds. So for the sake of the odds, I like the Kevin Holland plus 250.
Okay, and I'm going to go Marvin Vettori by decision.
All right, and we haven't been doing a bet of the whole parlay. My bet, I'm going to throw a bet out there, and then I'm taking a shot here. I'm going to do a 2-team parlay, Mackenzie Dern minus 110 to make it fun. I'm going to throw Kevin Holland plus 250, 2-team parlay.
Okay, I think the smartest bet is just going Mackenzie Dern straight. I think that's almost a lock. But if I'm going to do a parlay, I'm going to do Mackenzie Dern, Marvin Vettori. I think that's actually a really good bet. I'd stay away from that Mike Perry fight because, like Vinny said, Mike Perry could just knock him out in the first round or something. But I definitely feel really comfortable about that Mackenzie Dern fight. I really don't see it going any other way. So.
Yeah, don't get twisted. Mike Perry could get worn out for 3 rounds too.
Yeah, so that's why I have him losing by decision. But that's that one I feel like is a little untouchable because anything can happen in that one. But I feel very confident in Mackenzie Dern. So smartest bet is Mackenzie Dern straight.
Okay, that's it for UFC on ABC this Saturday, April 10th. Before that, 3 days before that, we'll go into that one, the one on TNT.
Sure.
Okay. The one on TNT is the Asian MMA organization has their first American event on TNT, which is a big deal, and I think it's actually
in Singapore, right?
It's in Singapore, yep.
Yeah.
But it's actually after AEW, which is like the competitor of WWE. So at AEW, and then one on TNT is coming out. It's headlined by Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson taking on Adriana Moraes, who's Adriana Moraes is plus 425. Mighty Mouse is minus 600. Do you know the thing that
I saw minus 1,000?
You saw more?
Most recently.
I wrote it down like 5
plus
6 days
600, minus 1,000, Mighty Mouse. And then plus 600.
More of the story, Mighty Mouse is a big old favorite.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you something, too, that I've been looking, just was seeing a lot of Ben Askren stuff. Do you remember Mighty Mouse? Ben Askren was in one. Mighty Mouse was in UFC. They traded. UFC traded Mighty Mouse
for Ben Askren.
For Ben Askren.
Damn.
And Ben Askren
bad trade,
UFC.
Huh?
Well, funny trade, but Ben Askren was undefeated at that point. You know, he just had a lot of.
Well, hype. Obviously hindsight's 2020, but now seeing.
And also Mighty Mouse didn't sell. Mighty Mouse didn't sell anything for the UFC, so he was like, that was why they didn't.
The small guys don't really sell.
Yeah. But anyway, I just want to throw a little nugget in. We've been looking at a lot of the Ben Askren stuff for the boxing fight with
Jake Paul.
And so, but anyway, and then the other one in the co-main event is Eddie the Underground King Alvarez, ex-UFC lightweight champion. Taking on Yuri Lupakis. That one I have Alvarez minus 240. Yuri Lupakis plus 190.
There's another fight in there.
There's
another headline fight. Do you not know which one?
I
just pull that up real quick. You give your breakdown.
Okay, so Alvarez, Yuri Lupakis. Unfortunately, I don't know much about Yuri Lupakis, and I am a big Eddie Alvarez fan. He's, Eddie Alvarez, Frankie Edgar, all those New Jersey, Philadelphia guys I've always loved. That being the case, Moraes versus Johnson. He's pulling this up real quick.
Here we go. Yeah, this right here, this Rod Tang. I'm not even gonna try to push that name, but I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for this card, and it's just of this Rod Tang guy.
I think that's a straight striking match.
Oh, is it? Oh,
I
okay,
think
my
it's
bad.
no, it's on the card though.
Oh,
But
it's a catch weight.
I think it's a Muay Thai fight, and he's like supposed to be one of the best Muay Thai fighters.
Yeah, there's videos on him on Instagram just eating shots, just staring at the guys, just staring at him while he's eating shots. Like that's what they've been promoting on Instagram and YouTube and stuff. That's why.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like one of the best Muay Thai fighters in the world or kickboxers in the world, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go just out of respect. I love Eddie Alvarez, even though these guys are always tough. From Moldova, Yuri Lapicus, he looks tough. The picture's making me a little worried. Alvarez getting a little older, but I got Alvarez by decision.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, Eddie Alvarez is 37 now, but this Yuri Lapicus guy has only fought 2 guys with a positive record.
Okay.
So he's fought only bums, basically. Like they showed the overall of his competitors, and it was like 55-77 overall record. So he's fought absolutely no one. What was that?
Did you catch his record or no?
It's good, but he's fought bums. It's like 12-1, 11-1, something like that. But he hasn't fought anyone. He's 24, I think, too. He's fairly young. Okay. I think Eddie Alvarez knocks him out in the first round.
Ooh.
So he's older. Like I honestly was like, when I was preparing to give my prediction, I was gonna say Eddie's too old, but this kid hasn't fought anyone. He's gonna daddy him first round knockout.
Where's Moldova? I've never heard of Moldova.
I feel
that they just made up. That one was just like they just made up in the last 4 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What if people from Moldova?
Yeah, Moldova, literally.
Jesus
It's like when
Christ.
the Soviet Union broke up. It's like Moldova, Russia, Dagestan.
Let's go to the next fight.
Adriano Moraes, who is the flyweight champion, is defending his belt versus Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who's a 10-1 favorite.
Yeah.
Not much of a deep dive here. I got Mighty Mouse by second round submission.
I got Mighty Mouse by decision, like every other fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was our big one on TNT. That's it. But one on TNT this Wednesday. Hopefully we have this out by Wednesday if my brother's computer. He's got this real old. He built this shit like 12 years ago. So who knows?
I have a fire computer. For anyone who knows shit, I have a 980. This shit renders, But when you make an hour and a half podcast, it takes time to render.
Ideally, this podcast is up by Tuesday morning.
It'll be up by Tuesday morning.
Spotify says we're up Tuesday. I think the last one we got it like Thursday night. But again, it's this guy's computer is ancient.
It's never been that old. It's never been that late. It's always Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's always Tuesday.
Anyway, so what do we want to do? I have a couple little UFC things, and I know you want to get in the John Jones thing.
Yeah.
There's small UFC things. So it's just the fact that Nate Diaz is fighting Leon Edwards. Super excited for that.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz, the return of Nate Diaz. We have a bunch of cards that are naming fights from the Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson that you showed. Mm-hmm. That's 264. Another one just popped up. Bilal Muhammad's fighting Damian Maia on 263. And then they just signed the deal for Poirier McGregor in July. The trilogy.
Right.
Big money fights.
A lot of fights coming up. A lot of exciting things. And
we'll get into those when the breakdowns come. The only other thing that stood out to me was that Alexander Volkanovski-Brian Ortega fight got scrapped just for them to now be the Ultimate Fighter coaches. That'll be an excellent season. Tough 29, Volkanovski, Ortega are coaches. I love that.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun building up for that fight. I'm sure then that fight's going to push back to the summer. Yeah. Maybe on that July card. They'll probably throw that on the co-main with Poirier and McGregor would be my bet.
That's a good prediction right there.
Volkanovski.
They're going to load up that card.
Volkanovski, Ortega, 145 co-main. That's going to be great. So, anyway, those are the other two things, UFC. And then you start off with John Jones.
Didn't you say you had something Submission Underground related?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. So, EUG, Evolve Your Game, through their first jiu-jitsu tournament. Go to Jiu-Jitsu Times on here. We can pull that up while we're talking about it.
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu-times.com. EUG did their first big jiu-jitsu fight. It was an eight-man tournament. IBJJF rules in the gi. Scroll down a little bit. Evolve Your Game, full results. There you go. So it was an 8-man. Yeah, we can keep that one up when we're doing this one. It was an 8-man tournament. And Andre Galvao was there, by the way. He was there. Andre Galvao. He was coaching right next to me, right in front. But he had a bunch of Atos guys there. That's an Atos guy. His guy who won it, Andy Murasaki. Mm-hmm. He was a brown belt. He won double gold at Worlds or Pans last year. It's a brown belt. This was his first event as a black belt.
Wow.
And came up and beat everybody at 160. Wow. Now, I hear he's a little bigger. He had to really cut weight. But he fought. That was the one thing I saw was he just seemed so much bigger and stronger. But real quick, so Evolve Your Game. It's actually my head coach at my school in Cabrinia's, Hector Vasquez, wanted to make his own little event here. So he did it in our gym. He changed it into a stage. It was a beautiful setup. Me and Charnay went, me and my wife, and it was cool. You know, the thing with IBJJF, when it's not sub only, it gets kind of stale at a high level for me personally.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like lasso guard and lapel guard and the other guy, it's just real grippy and just one explosion trying to pass. But this Andy Murasaki, again, it was just makes his black belt debut and had 7 other of the top black belts in the world. This was at 160. And but the one thing I took away from him, he just seemed so much stronger and his pressure was a little bit better. But that was really all I had. I just want to announce the fact that it happened. Evolve Your Game. They're doing another event in June, and that one's going to be 170 pounds. They signed a deal with Flow Grappling, so you can watch it on Flow Grappling. But yeah, that's it.
Jiu-Jitsu's making a decent push right now.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like guys with like Jocko, Joe Rogan, a lot of these guys are, you know, pushing. I mean, even Theo Von.
I just seen the Russell Brand thing last night.
Russell Brand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these guys, you know. So I think Jiu-Jitsu's making a move.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if Gi's making as big of a push as no Gi is. You know, I think one is more exciting than the other, especially with Eddie Bravo's. What's the slapping?
Combat jiu-jitsu.
Combat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Pushes like that, it makes it more interesting to watch, especially if you're not familiar. I was watching with our cousin Jaden, and he actually enjoyed it. He doesn't even train or anything, and we watched the whole 2-3 hours of it, you know. And
my thing is, it doesn't matter if it's gi or no gi. It just, I think a lot of it
it does, though, because gi slows down the game a lot, like you said.
It's just a lot of better being sub only, though, because they could win by points. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you're playing this point game, it's just a little sillier.
Yeah, you're right. Sub only
is a big thing. With subs, there's more subs anyway. So it's like, but I think a lot of it's a sub only format, you know.
Yeah.
Like to these guys, like to take some chances. Not that serious to me.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like everyone should make the transition towards Eddie Bravo's breakdown, and then having that. What's the final thing? If no one gets submitted, you do the.
Yeah, you either can start on their back.
Yeah, you can
start
in the
armbar
position.
Yeah,
that would be
cool. They should do that with that too. Because that was the thing too
Yeah.
with this. That was the bummer. Was a lot of the it was tied, and it would be a ref's decision. And a lot of time with ref's decision, they favor the guy on top. But like in a fight, like a UFC fight, if you're on top, you have control. But not in jiu-jitsu, because the other guy's holding a guard and in position, so it's more 50-50.
People have different games. Yeah.
So, but they kept favoring the top guy, and this is why this guy, he never pulled guard. He just kept playing top. But
yeah. I think Chael Sonnen's thing for UFC Submission Underground, I think they use Eddie Bravo's rules.
Do they?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I know they have the overtime for sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think they should keep transitioning more towards that.
You know, I didn't tell you either, too. They gave me another stripe. I have 3 stripes on my belt now. On Thursday night, I had a 3rd stripe. Because it was just sitting there at 2 stripes. You got to get 4. Yeah, I got 3 on there now.
You have to get 4?
4, yeah, it's typically.
Yeah.
He gave it to me. He's like, you're way ahead of this. We're just catching up.
Yeah.
So.
For those that don't know, Vinny's a high-level brown belt. You've been training for 12 years or something now, right?
Yeah, so 12 years, yep. And but anyway, so I got 3 shots on my brown belt now. And anyway, this Evolve Your Game is at my school. So shout out to Hector for putting on. He's trying to, you know, this isn't easy. You know, I know you don't make money the first couple of ones, so you got to put up some money to try to compete. So shout out to Hector. Shout out to Evolve Your Game. And yeah, that's that.
Let's get into the John Jones shit. John Jones is saying that he might be retiring from MMA. He didn't get the money that he wants. I think they're in negotiations, so I think this is a negotiation tactic, pulling the retirement card. I think Conor McGregor pulled the same thing. These guys tend to do this, but
Nate Diaz did this.
Yeah. And so what's your takes on
anyway,
it?
so just some background real quick. So Francis Ngannou knocked out Stipe Miocic, became the champ, which we all know. Mm-hmm. Then they were giving John Jones the opportunity to fight the heavyweight champ. And at the post-fight press conference, Dana went out of his way to make a comment like, if John wants to fight, he knows where to contact us. And John went on like a series of like 10 tweets being like, basically making it seem like the boss is trying to play me out like I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. And really what Dana was referring to was saying, John doesn't really, if he really wants to fight, he'll call us. But when Dana's saying that, he's saying, no, call us and accept our terms. Right. You know, John wants more money. So the report is they're offering John like 8 to 10 million. And John said he was making like $2 million a fight throughout his 20s. And there was a report that came out yesterday that John's coach said he should get 50 million. I don't know that. I mean, I think we should find some common ground here or some pay-per-view points or something, you know. But I'm sure they'll find.
I mean, that's just a common negotiation.
Yeah, it's a common negotiation.
You start high,
yeah,
and
of course.
you always try to find a middle ground.
Right.
But what Steve-O actually has a podcast now. I don't know if you're familiar. Yeah, and
he's a John UFC guy now.
Yeah, Steve-O. He is. Well, he had John Jones on the podcast recently.
Like couple of days or a couple weeks? Or?
I think on the first something, or maybe a little bit earlier than that. It's a really good podcast.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to bring it up.
I like John in his interviews.
Yeah.
But anyway, what happened?
God, I forget what my point of. point
Steve-O, John Jones was
Oh,
on there.
no, he was saying, like, UFC wasn't budging at all. Like, they're like, this is our
Right.
price. Like, you do what you want with it. Like, you can accept it or you can't. You know what I mean? And John was making the point, like, it's shitty in MMA. There is no other move you could really make,
Right.
especially at a high level. Like,
Right.
unless Bellator wants to give him up, like, fucking 30,
And Bellator
40.
can't afford $10 million for John
Well,
Jones.
and even, yeah, which, I mean, it honestly probably would be a great move,
Well,
you know,
right.
if they had the money to put it up Bellator or any other
Yeah.
of these divisions. But they're like, UFC does have a monopoly
Right.
on MMA. So Dana, like, you know,
Yeah.
he gives you the prices and you can do what you want with them,
Yep.
you know. And he was kind of making that point. Like, in any other sport, you can, if you don't like the team you're playing for, you can switch teams.
Yep.
If you're in
Free
football or
agency.
basketball, free agency,
Yep.
you know what I mean? But when it comes to MMA, UFC has such a monopoly on the MMA game that, you know, you can't really make those moves,
Yep.
you know.
Who also
So-
Luke Rockhold, who's coming back too, just came out and said that too, like a couple days ago. He's like, it's mafioso tactics
Yeah.
that we're dealing with. I'm sure Luke's trying to come back, wants some pays for these next couple fights. He's up
Right.
for like 35, 36, and he said the same thing. It's mafioso tactics.
Yeah.
But
Which, I mean, you know, you're running a business, so
Yeah,
you
of
can't blame
course.
Dana White.
No.
Like, if you are the top dog, what are you going to
Yeah.
do? You know, you're going to try to do the best thing you can do, especially as a CEO. You're going to make whatever prices work best for your side, you know.
Right. And I do
So-
think if anyone deserves it, John Jones deserves money. Again,
Definitely.
let's find some common
I mean,
ground.
like Francis Ngannou versus John Jones, that's a giant
Oh,
card.
huge.
Huge.
That's a huge fight.
I mean, do you think that hits pay-per-view buys that Conor McGregor Khabib would hit, or
No,
it
I don't
gets
think
close.
so.
Maybe
because
not.
Khabib's international,
Right.
and Conor's
Yeah.
international.
That's a good point.
But it's up there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure Jones Cormier, one of their ones, is like top 5, or I think Conor's like top 3 or
Yeah.
something. But I think Jones Cormier is like 4 or something like that.
And what was interesting, again, in that Steve-O interview, John was like, because Steve-O brought up the point, well, did you try to get at least upped on the percentage of pay-per-view buys, you know, get
Right.
your commission higher, whatever term you want to use, you know. But John was like, yeah, I'll take any up, you know, even if it is in pay-per-view buys. But he was saying they won't even budge, even regarding pay-per-view buys.
Because the
you know?
champ has like a set, you get a percentage of,
Yeah.
when you're the champ, you get a percentage, but they probably keep it at that percentage.
But I know they definitely make moves for Conor McGregor. John Jones, I mean, I don't know if he's Conor McGregor level stardom, especially at this point, you know. Steve-O, I mean, I keep referencing it. It was a really good interview.
That's a good one. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, he also made a good point. John Jones' last 2 fights, he looked human. You know, like some people thought he lost the fight against Dominic Reyes.
Yeah.
And,
I think it was lack of motivation, to be honest. But
right. Well, it could be whatever you want to say. But he looked human the last 2 fights. So the chances of him losing look a little bit higher from the public perspective, you know, especially against a giant who just came off the knockout of the greatest heavyweight of all time, Stipe Miocic, you know.
Right.
So it is a good point, meaning there is a bigger draw, because with John Jones previously, it's like when you watch a John Jones fight, it's almost a lock. Like, you know, no one can really fuck with John Jones.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing as Amanda Nunes, you know,
Well,
so it's like.
And one thing I'll say is this too, UFC's definitely got bigger in the pandemic. There's
Yeah.
more random fans.
Yeah.
John hasn't fought in the pandemic. He's one of those guys that the NFL guys, the NBA guys, everyone will be tuned in now for John Jones.
Yeah.
So I think this will be the biggest John Jones fight ever. On top
I mean,
of
Dana
it.
White has said he should be the LeBron James of
Yeah.
MMA. He had so many fuck ups, and
Right.
I mean, he probably should
Yeah.
be. You
He
know?
might have a chance here if he
Yeah,
can win this
and
heavyweight
I'm a
champion.
huge John
Yeah, me
Jones
too.
fan, but he's been making it really
Right.
hard, you know. Like, it's just been incident after incident, you know.
Right.
And then with the steroid thing, I mean, you saw they came up and said that, you know, he wasn't taking steroids and things like that, but he did get banned for 2 years. Like, you know,
Yeah, it was interesting.
I'm a huge John Jones fan.
Yeah.
I hope he makes a return. I
Yeah.
hope he gets a fight in the UFC and gets
No,
paid
you
what
know
he
me.
wants to
I
get
always
paid.
gave John Jones a hard time for it. You know, if a
Yeah.
pentagram of steroids is in you, probably put some steroids in you.
Yeah.
Um,
But you know, I'm cheering for John Jones. I hope I definitely want to see that fight no matter what. So hopefully they can make that happen.
2 predictions regarding that. First and foremost, what do you think the final number that he gets paid?
You know, I don't know the
Let's
back
just
end
call
numbers.
it with everything
you know
combined.
What I
Let's
mean?
say with pay-per-view points. What do you
If
think
they're
he gets?
offering him 10 million, I mean, they probably give him 10 million, like they're saying, and then more on the
More
pay-per-view
pay-per-view.
side. If
So what's the total he gets for that fight? I just want a total number.
God, I mean, I don't know the percentage they get for that type of shit, but I mean, fuck, probably walks away with like 35 million.
They're going high. Okay, 30. I'm gonna go 25 million.
Okay, I
I'll go
kind of like that a
25
little
million.
bit
Yeah,
more. I'm gonna drop mine to 30, something like that.
I'm gonna go. John Jones makes 25
If they make
million.
it happen, I feel like
They're
Dana
gonna make it
doesn't give a.
happen.
You think?
They'll make it happen for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
there's no. The only thing that could happen is this: Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. That's only to build Ngannou. defends his title. So it's not just his first defense for John.
Right.
Versus Ngannou. Give him another win. He won the belt, defended the belt because he could beat Derek Lewis easy.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
you know,
that last fight, Derek Lewis won.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, but it was boring. No one did
it was the
anything,
worst fight in UFC
And Derek
history.
Lewis is better than he was then.
Yeah.
So it's a fun fight.
Oh my God, I would be so happy for Derek Lewis if he came in and slumped him.
Yeah.
You know, that's definitely not the same amount of pay-per-view buys as John
Real quick,
Jones.
before we get this one, Derek Lewis just something popped up on World Star today, and I feel like it's an old interview unless Derek Lewis was just on the Joe Rogan podcast.
He was just on it recently. Yeah.
He said he bought all of his family member cars.
They all sold them.
And they all sold
I
them.
watched that clip.
That was sad. I hate that stuff.
And he was serious.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
was
gonna
serious.
make it a joke.
I just saw the World Star Club. I thought it might have been older because it's like 105, but maybe it was his MMA podcast 105. Where
and he was saying like I get calls from cousins I haven't talked to for years. I mean, we hear the story a lot, you know, and it is
Lewis
sad.
really came from the dirt to be now here, you know, like.
Yeah. And he's an underdog on every fight, and he keeps winning. Like,
he has the most knockouts in UFC history.
Yeah.
He's knockout bonuses. And
I love that
his
guy.
Contracts going up. But anyway, we're losing off topic. But Derek Lewis, so I think they're going to do Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, and then once they can figure this out with John, unless they can figure out some money thing with John here soon.
I think, we'll see.
And last little thing on it, who do you got, John Jones or Francis Ngannou?
John Jones.
I got John Jones as well.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's going to be plus.
Huh?
That's plus.
No.
Bro,
No.
best fight odds right now.
No.
Best fight odds right now online. He's like plus 115. Nganou's minus 145. Pull it up real quick so we can pull it up.
All right. Let me see.
Francis Ngannou, I'm pretty sure best fight odds. Francis Ngannou, there you go. Versus, go scroll down. Down. He'll be in the bottom, like the notes. Go down. Down. Okay, future events right there. John Jones, Adesanya. John Jones.
Francis Ngannou. No. Minus one. Oh,
85.
no. Plus 160.
Plus 160 is going up for Ngannou.
That's disrespectful.
That's what I think you're like on John.
We'll see once it goes
All
live.
right.
I don't think it maintains.
It went higher already. I saw
They
plus
think
115.
Francis is gonna knock out John Jones. John Jones fights heavyweights.
John will ankle pick him, bro. Ankle pick him.
No, he'll
and
do
take
whatever
him,
he
full mount
wants. He'll do whatever he wants to Francis Ngannou. Like, of course, Francis has that chance of hitting him in the chin and not. But John, dude, okay, there was I keep bringing up this podcast, but again on the Steve-O podcast, when Steve-O was making the point that he does look human after the last two fights, you should have seen John Jones' face. No, you should have seen this. Like, he turned into a psychopath.
Damn.
Like, he fucking, his face froze up and he fucking looked. It was kind of freaky. It kind of scared me a little bit. John Jones' ego will not let him lose.
So we both got John Jones that one. Just because we pulled it up.
100%.
It has Derek Lewis and Ngannou there. Ngannou's minus 360, which is probably right. Derek
No,
Lewis
that's
plus
right.
285.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
But that's disrespectful to John Jones, the best light heavyweight champion and maybe the best
fighter of all time.
Best fighter of all time, in my opinion. Yeah.
All right, so that's it on our UFC stuff for the week. I got two more things.
Okay. I got a couple of things too.
Okay. I don't have much on the Joe Budden podcast right now. Breakup.
You don't want to mention
Let's do a little bit. Let's mention a little bit. Because it was just a little old. So Joe Budden podcast is one of my favorite podcasts. I can't speak for Alec.
Same with me.
I mean, I've in rotation with Joe Budden podcast, Bill Simmons podcast are my like two favorite podcasts. Stuff on the Ringer. But Joe, main two partners, Rory and Maul. Basically, just a little summary. Rory and Joe, you know, and I listen to every single podcast. Like, there was a little tension, but there was always sometimes tension. But and they were like, we could go box outside, blah blah. And like to me, it didn't seem like anything other than what
just
it always
around.
is. But they're saying maybe it was a little bit more tension behind the scenes. Parks came out and said, so Joe came to Rory and was like, you know what, maybe you should take a couple weeks away. And Molly, as a stand-up dude as he is, felt like even as Joe's podcast and Joe is the boss, but Maul just felt like, how can you tell Rory to go sit down basically somewhere until you're ready? That kind of ain't fair, because Maul looks at it like they're a trio.
I do respect Maul.
No, I do too.
A lot.
You know, because Maul looks at it like they're a trio. Again, Joe is the boss. It is the Joe Budden podcast. But that being the case, so Maul was like, you know, if Roy's sitting, I'm sitting then. So they're sitting, and now we're in about 6. They do 2 podcasts a week. We're in about a good 6 podcasts, maybe 7. So we're like 3. We're almost, we're about, let's call it 3 weeks, but we're getting close to a month without Rory and Maul. In the first couple ones, it did seem a little weird, and I guess maybe because I was just so used to Rory and Maul. But and so it came off a little weird. They're using a guy named one of his best friends named Ice. I don't know if it's one of his best friends, but a guy named Ice. One of his best friends is I can't think of his name. Ish. Yeah. Ishmael. But they call him Ish. And then they have Savon, Savon has his own podcast, but he works in the studio with them. He's always in the back. And he does have his own podcast, by the way, but he's been on with a little voiceover. Then Parks has still been there. The first couple ones felt a little weird, but again, and I saw DJ Academic say this too. It's like, you guys all love Joe as much as you're hating on Joe. And now I'm like 5-6 episodes in with the new guys, and it's becoming pretty normal to me. It sounds good. I'm not missing Rory and Maul too much. Now, again, I want Rory and Maul to come back just out of respect and shit, but
I don't listen to the Joe Budden podcast consistently. I'll go in with waves. If I want to hear them talk about something specifically, or I see a guest on or something, I'll click on it. But I've been watching actively since Rory and Maul have been out, and I don't want to say I like it more, but I kind of do like it more. Like, there's a little bit more of a pushback, and Joe doesn't carry it as much. Like, the guy Ice just goes on rants that are good rants too, and they I don't know how to put it, but I feel like Joe doesn't have as much of power and leverage over them, which he could just be playing nice because they're only on the podcast for temporarily. So that could be the thing. But again, it is we are there for Joe Budden.
Do you watch it? Do you watch it?
I watch it.
You watch it. See, I don't ever watch it, so I never get those aesthetics. But I've always imagined there's different aesthetics when you watch it. Yeah. Because there's some things I do watch. Like, I don't ever listen to just Joe Rogan, but I watch it. So it's like little things, or like $1 million worth of game. I'll watch it, but I've never just listened to it.
I typically only watch podcasts for the most part. Yeah.
But see, like, I've got so used to them in the car that I just listen. Like Joe Budden, I just listen to. Bill Simmons, I just listen to. The Ringer stuff, I just listen to.
But yeah, we both want Rory and Maul to come back. Yeah.
And I think too, I want to say this too, as much as we are starting to like the 6 episodes in, I think too, because Roy and Maul were around for so long, maybe there could be some kind of, we just know them so well and stuff gets not old, because there's always new topics, but it just gets familiar. So maybe these new personalities brings a little new flavor, which I think is what we're feeling.
Yeah, but I also feel like, Ice and Ish's takes are a little bit longer, and they... God, I don't want to be disrespectful. I love it, but they do. But even in the past, like Rory and Maul, they might go in little snippets, but Joe carries the whole thing. Like right now, Ice will go in he'll lead topics and shit. It's a little bit of a different feel. But shout out to Joe Budden.
Shout out to Joe Budden. Shout out to Ice. Shout out to Ish. Shout out to Rory. Shout out to Maul. I like them all. So hopefully they all come back and figure this all out. But the one thing I will say, the Patreon stuff is retarded because
why?
Because they were like, Joe, you changed this, you got money, right? And I want to hear what they were going to say, right? Because I love Joe. I've loved Joe when he's broke. I love him now. And let's save that for Patreon. But I don't want to have to go buy Patreon to hear the good topics. I want to hear what you guys are going to say.
Trying to get paid.
I know. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm going to go sign. I'm not going to pay for Patreon.
You might not, but a lot of people will.
But I'm like one of the real fans. I shouldn't have to go pay for Patreon. I want to hear some real stuff. Don't be saving on the real stuff for Patreon.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Joe. Hey, Joe, drop that album on Cash App, too. I want to hear that. Cash App Records.
Damn.
But that's my theory. He's going to drop the album on Cash App Records when it comes out. Mm-hmm.
He's going to get paid for that.
They're creating a record label, and that's their main sponsor. Why wouldn't he?
God. That would get me so weird.
We'll see.
I still listen to Joe Budden on a daily basis. Like, he's still one of my biggest players.
My favorite song of 2020 had Joe Budden song at the top. One of the tops.
100%.
But all right, that's it on Joe Budden. The only other thing I do want to pull up real quick before you get into your thing, can you pull up Paul Pierce on Google?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw this.
So I'm gonna give just do Paul Pierce. It's gonna pop up on all the things. NBA World reacts to Paul Pierce videos. So Paul Pierce, who a legend in NBA, I've always loved the truth. I call myself the truth when we're shooting. By the way, I busted Alec in basketball this weekend. He's
what
trash.
The fuck?
21.
Are you kidding me? I won a game.
He won the last game because this dude.
And I was close to
this dude came and told me to turn the music off and kill my buzz.
I drained 2 threes. My shot was nice.
And I felt bad for him.
Tell him my shot was nice.
His shot was nice. His shot did get better. Yeah, he used to be like kind of like if you imagine like Hulk Hogan shooting a shot, it would just be like all muscle, like throwing it up. That's how Alec used to shoot. But he was a little bit better touch now. So
my shot was on.
No, shot was good.
I don't know.
But anyway, why did I bring up the basketball thing?
Paul Pierce.
Oh, Paul Pierce. Oh, yeah. I'll call myself
Paul Pierce is a sicko. Kuzma said.
But Kyle Kuzma, yeah. So anyway, Paul Pierce is an NBA legend, and he has a prominent role on ESPN now. He's on, I believe it's on the main NBA show with Rachel Nichols. I'm drawing a blank what that show's called, but it's the main NBA show. And anyway, he's a big-time ESPN guy now. he goes on IG Live this weekend. Live, it's literally him. He's clearly drunk, you know, not honestly on drugs, but he's clearly probably drunk. And there's a bunch of dudes. They have a poker table set up behind them. There's a bunch of strippers everywhere. You can see dudes at the poker table throwing chips at the strippers in the house, bro. Paul just like clowning. Like, you worked for one of the biggest corporate companies in the world. Like, either thinking there wouldn't be any repercussion, or was so drunk that he didn't care, or maybe he didn't care about getting from you. Maybe he doesn't care.
That tweet said you forgot to hit the close friends. You know what I mean?
Is that what they said?
Yeah, because on Instagram you can hit close friends.
And we can see. But even then, that's going to get out. Some of the stuff, you know, but
there's snitches.
So the thing is does ESPN, does he get fired? Does he get suspended? I don't know, but I just thought that was hilarious when I saw that. I mean, he's like, what, a 45-year-old?
Do you think there will be repercussions or no?
I don't know.
There
Hopefully not. What I heard was if
be.
they like you, usually it's like a repeated stuff. You did a couple things. This was like an accident to the point where it looked so blatant that it looked like he didn't even think.
I mean, but what's wrong with this? Does he have a wife?
I don't think so.
Okay, then, I mean, he's a single man doing his thing. I don't see the issue with it. Because he works for Disney.
It's
basically.
America. Yeah, Disney. That's the thing. You know, and you know how it is. That comes off as, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But I can see
this
cookie cutter real company Disney being real weird about it, you know.
Yeah. I feel like it's whack that people are reacting.
No, to me, I thought it was fly. I thought it was they're having a good time. Yeah. But
even if it's not fly, it shouldn't be fucking repercussions.
Yeah,
you know
they're trying to keep up the standard of looking all clean cut and we don't do anything.
Yeah, that shit's fake. You know what I mean? Everyone's real humans.
But that's all I want to do it. We're not even sure the Paul Pierce video on there then.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, it was interesting. So that's all I got today. What are we doing on time? I know you got some topics here.
We're over an hour.
Nice.
Yeah.
Killed it. All right,
yeah. But well, first, okay, let me do this one small thing and then we'll get into the coronavirus shit. But a lot of these girls on Instagram, a lot of poppin' models and stuff are doing this OnlyFans thing. Right. And Bhadbhabie, the Cash Me Outside girl, did you hear about this? Yeah. She just turned 18 and dropped an OnlyFans.
Made $1 million in 6 hours.
Not bad for 6 hours. Yeah. She grossed over $1 million in 6 hours of having an OnlyFans account. Like,
dang, so this is what you post on TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been able to post that.
Look at that.
They did a whole breakdown on it. I heard about it.
That's crazy. $1,092,000 in 6 hours. Like, and she's not even posting explicit content. Like,
shout out to her. That's what I heard. It was a lot from subscriptions. You get if you send these messages, there was over 200,000 private messages.
Yeah, you get
if you click on it, it's just like $100 a person or something or something like that, but 200,000 times the $50 or whatever right there was a hell of money.
But it's just photos of her in bikinis and twerking and shit.
She got 800,000 subscribers?
I don't know. I just know she made over $1 million in 6 hours.
It was either 80,000 subscribers or she might have been 800,000 subscribers.
Wow.
And I thought people think it was weird too because it was waiting until she was just 18 and people were like, what a bunch of sickos. They were waiting for her to become 18.
Yeah. Well, who's the boxer? The guy that always talks shit. He's I look at him and it's like a Walmart version of Mayweather. What's his name? The guy from Cincinnati, I think. Adrian Broner. He was hitting her up when she was 16, 15. Right. Do you remember that shit happened? Yeah. He was like, I thought she was 18. She's out here wilding this. Yeah, it was a big controversy then. But I mean, I guess get your money.
I'm happy you brought this up because I saw this. Yeah, I heard about this.
It's a big trending topic.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Get your money. Whatever.
I was watching the Adam 22 podcast recently.
They talked about it?
No, not this specifically, but it was with Lena the Plug and Riley Reid. And they were kind of talking shit about how a lot of these people with a lot of following will create these OnlyFans and make it seem like they're posting explicit content, but really it's just bikini photos that you could post on Instagram. And they were kind of saying how it's scamming people, and it's kind of fucked up. So
I think at this point, if there's an audience who are getting on OnlyFans and creating a subscription, at that point, whatever they click on, who cares?
Yeah.
And it's not the job for the creators to care.
What they were kind of saying is that, when you aren't posting the content that they think you're going to post, you might get a quick bag, you might get a quick million, but then your subscription base is going to fall off.
Right.
So if you want to maintain the subscription base, but
no, I get it. I don't know. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get their angle, but again.
Yeah. I mean, she made $1 million in 6 hours. I mean, if I got it,
I'm curious to see how this keeps going, and she'll keep posting stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
That's incredible.
If you make $1 million in 6 hours, you're gonna fucking stay consistent.
Let's check this out a month from now. Let's see what she made in a month. She did this April 1st too. Started.
Right. So shout out to the Bhadbhabie.
I wonder if this was an April Fool's.
It's not. Yeah, it's real.
That was funny. I just saw that April 1st.
No, it's not. It's real. It's legit.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Good job. Make your money.
So I did want to get into the coronavirus vaccine mandatory.
So give me the background. So Joe Biden, is it official or is like there's something up in legislation?
So they were gonna try to push it, and I checked today because I want to do research before talking about it on the podcast. And that Dr. Fauci guy. First off, who the fuck is this guy, and why does he have such an authority on everything? Like, who is Dr. Fauci? Like, before coronavirus, I never heard shit about this guy. Yeah. He was like,
he's been around since like the 90s.
Yeah, well, he was wrong about the AIDS pandemic. Like, he was wrong about a lot of shit. Yeah, like, you know, I want to get into my conspiracy theory back a little bit about
getting to power and
but for some reason he's the main authority for the United States when it comes to coronavirus, which I don't know who assigned him that position, but he has it. Right. But he came out today saying they're not going to push the stamp. Okay. But there's a lot. The governor in Florida, what's his name? He's a G. DeSantos, the guy out of Texas. Like, these guys are like, fuck you. We're not going to fly with that. You know what I mean? But basically, the main premise,
you were going to have to use your passport. You were going to have
to travel in general, you would have to be vaccinated and have like a vaccine stamp, you know?
Well, you know that new ID they've been talking about for years, too, the driver's license, but you're going to have to get that real ID or the real thing.
To travel.
But they said that like a year and a half ago and it never happened. But
they're still going to do that. They're still going to do that. But then they were saying...
that's not coronavirus thing, but I thought they could attach coronavirus to that thing.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. And like making anything mandatory for you to travel, like I feel like we forgot what it means to be an American. You know what I mean? Like the biggest thing about America, you can talk as much shit as you want. The biggest thing is our freedom.
Free rights to everything.
You can say whatever you want. Everyone like puts Europe on like this pedestal now. Everyone in Europe wants to be a fucking American. You know what I mean? And now it's like we're pushing to be more like them. You know what I mean?
Is that what people are doing?
Yeah. They're like, you do see what they're doing in Germany? Do you see what they're like? No, like, you know, everything's popping in the United States. You know, we're definitely not the best. There's definitely improvements, drastic improvements we need to make. But, you know, and another point to make, like I wrote this quote down. This guy, Rahm Emanuel, who's a congressman, you never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And it seems like, you know, a lot of conspiracy theories are that, like, they push this coronavirus thing to take more rights. But even if that wasn't the case, even if coronavirus just happened the way it happened, no matter what, the government has taken advantage of every single crisis that's ever happened, you know. There's the mass shooting that happened recently, and I don't know if it's Colorado or Utah.
I'm getting my Nevada driver's license, so it don't matter. I'm about to cop a gun here soon.
Yeah, but
like next week.
But Biden
fucks with me.
They were saying that Biden was going to put an executive order to ban assault weapons.
We've been hearing that for a little bit now.
And they keep doing this no matter what. I mean, when 9/11 happened, that pushed us to go fight wars.
Well, not only that, it put a whole TSR, a whole new security system in every airport. We had to walk through an electric
no matter what. These people take advantage of these issues, and we keep giving our freedoms away.
And you people and you kids like 50-50,
and everyone that's in my age bracket, you guys think it's cool. You don't see the long-term plan. They take one thing away, and that's just the start of a fucking domino effect, you know? Once they take one thing away, it just keeps happening, you know?
And that, just to add on that's the thing, too. Just thing is free speech. That is what, on this QAnon, the season finale was last night. I haven't watched it yet. I watched the first 4 episodes.
Right.
And taking down 8chan, which is where QAnon was speaking on. It's very a disruptive website. Very, like, bad
dark
stuff on there. Like, racist
shit.
And just real bad shit. But, but the one thing that they were saying was they had to go to court, and it was just like if you take the reason they're fighting so far to keep 8chan up is the fact that if you start here, you'll start with every website again. The internet should have free right to speech. And now I'm not supporting the racist and like the child pornography and weird shit, but I do believe in free speech and that the internet should not be censored. I'm assuming we're getting to a point where it's gonna be censored anyway. I mean, they censored YouTube 2 years ago.
How about Alex Jones
getting kicked off. Now they don't have all those conspiracy theory videos I used to watch. All that stuff got taken down. The only way you can have a conspiracy theory video now is if it's like religious. If it says like, I don't want to say even think like 1218 Messiah or whatever.
Right.
But that's the only ones that have the conspiracy theory. I used to go back. There used to be a bunch of the Black Child, that videos I used to love. His whole website got taken down. Like,
I mean, Twitter, Facebook, if you're talking about certain topics, and some of these topics have been proven like that they're actually true. And if it's against the narrative of the extreme left, Mark Zuckerberg, I forget the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey. There's such a heavy push, and it's scary. You know, it's kind of scary if they can just censor whatever you want. And I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but most of us get our information from social media. So if you're creating this little funnel,
or at least in the internet.
Well, but the majority is social media, like a far majority. You know what I mean? If they're just controlling to push the same narrative that they want to push and banning any information that goes against that, something's wrong, you know? And even like you said, like we're not supporting racists, but if you want to post some racist shit on YouTube, Instagram, then people know you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. So you should have the freedom to do that.
The point is just free right to speech. Just say whatever you want.
So that's kind of it. Oh, and like another thing, India banned all Chinese. I see that one up there.
I keep reading these little tabs.
Yeah, let me bring that up.
India bans TikTok.
Yeah, so India and China are at war or something right now. There was actually combat that happened recently, and soldiers got killed on the border. China said it was India's fault. India said it was China's fault. But India banned nearly 60 Chinese apps, including TikTok and WeChat. And India, I mean, has billions of people. It might be the heaviest populated.
We talked about this once before when we brought out the one girl who was on Russell Brand's podcast.
Yeah, but they banned TikTok and WeChat, saying, you know, because China is a communist nation, you know. So, like, if you have a business, China owns it. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, it's not like America where you just build a business. Like, if it gets to a certain level, they just come and take it, you know. So, the thing is, TikTok and WeChat and a lot of these Chinese apps are mining this data from people and using it against or whatever it may be, but especially when it's against the interests of the country, since India and China are very high, what's the word I'm looking for, conflict right now, you know, they decided to ban them.
What is WeChat?
WeChat, it's just like WhatsApp, but for Chinese people, you know, but they banned it. You know, Donald Trump was talking about banning TikTok too at one point. That. You know,
because the Chinese.
But Biden and them love China, so
China created TikTok, right?
Yeah. Well, a Chinese company did. Yeah. So, interesting shit. I hope this India-China shit doesn't get too crazy, because that'd be pretty sad, you know. And it seems like it's getting violent, so we'll see. I'm not sure. But that's kind of all I got.
All right, cool. Well, we went far over our time anyway.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any? 2 songs.
Oh, 2 songs of the week. Let's go.
Yeah.
You do your first one.
Okay, first song.
So, favorite songs of the week. You know what's funny? Spotify said they do their favorite rap songs of the week. Maybe we want to even pick different songs just so we don't seem so narrow-minded. But I guess we do listen to mainly rap songs.
That's all we listen to. Yeah. My
did
first
you see
song.
They said that? The 2 rap songs? Did you read on Spotify?
Oh, no.
Yeah, they said that. They posted their 2 favorite songs. There's 2 favorite rap songs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, dude.
But my first one's Benny the Butcher featuring Ransom, Spineless. Shit's hard as fuck.
Yeah. I didn't know you were going to do that one.
Was that one of yours?
No, that was one of mine.
Oh, okay.
They don't know what movies we're doing anyway. My first one is, my first one is going to be Trey the Truth. It's called Lyric Forever. And that is one video break.
You know, I would like us to be able to do little snippets of the songs, you know.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to that point.
Yeah. Maybe like a little 10, 15 second.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Or if it's a short song.
Yeah.
And my first song's going to be that. Trey the Truth, Lyric Forever. And that's one of the ones I would do a video breakdown of. Oh, yeah, we do video breakdowns too. Check out our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We didn't say like and subscribe and all at the beginning. We'll do it at the end. But all right, second song.
And then my second one, I like to give these battle rappers always a shot, and he's a legend in the battle rap community. Loaded Lux dropped a song, Fools and Babies, yesterday, and it is hard as fuck.
I got to check that out.
Yeah, this shit is hard. And, you know, typically a lot of these battle rappers can't really make the transition and make really good songs, you know.
Only one that was really good was Sue Surf.
Sue Surf, and I feel like Arsenal had a couple good ones. There's a couple guys, but
I mean, King Lowe's we don't consider a battle rapper, but
yeah. So Loaded Lux, Fools and Babies, you gotta listen. It's hard as fuck.
I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah, it was. Came out yesterday.
Anytime Loaded Lux gets in his bag, I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, came out on Easter too.
Easter?
I mean, yesterday.
That was real disrespectful. All right, the last one I'm gonna do. It did came out. It was a little freestyle. Like this one could be something we show at some point, but it actually popped up on my release radar. I was going to do this one, but it popped up on my release radar. Spotify. Toby Inigwe. We need to pronounce his name right. Toby Inigwe. Okay, I think it's Toby Inigwe, but it's called a revealing freestyle. That's hard, bro. He's with his wife and his 3 kids in the living room.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him, bro.
He's a real legend. And I like that they're pushing him. He was on the Tonight Show, right? Like, yeah, I hope he keeps making a push.
That could be one of the videos we do today, actually, if we want.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. That's it, though, right?
That's it, yeah.
Cool.
So that's it. KandiShow episode 10. I know with the intro we did the whole DMX thing. Shout out to DMX. Prayers to DMX. Best of luck to DMX. Positive vibes, positive energy to DMX.
Right.
Strength, and But yes, KandiShow episode 10. We got the double digits. That's one thing I want to say.
Yeah, if you're on Apple Music, give us 5 stars. Give us a little rating. Spotify, same
Follow
thing.
us on Spotify.
Yeah, Apple
like,
Music.
subscribe, TikTok, Instagram.
We're on everything.
Subscribe, all that. And
KandiShow on everything.
KandiShow,
Yeah.
episode 10. Next week, Alex going out of town. So he'll be back Tuesday. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure out this week what we're doing for next week.
Yeah.
We'll still get something out. If we got to do it Wednesday morning or whatever, Tuesday morning, we'll
get
play it by
something.
ear. But we won't be here next Monday for sure.
We got to the double digits.
Double digits. Hey, I'm $1,900 richer too. Let's go. Anyway, shout out to DMX.
Thanks for
We out
listening,
here.
guys. Peace.